Good afternoon, all my Dharma friends, and thank you so much for joining the Lamrim class, particularly about the meditation. So when we practice bodhicitta, renunciation, and emptiness, so it is very difficult to practice because we haven't achieved, we haven't accomplished the bodhicitta. We don't have the pure renunciation. Also, we haven't realized emptiness. Therefore, when we, think about practicing bodhicitta, is a bit difficult. But when we think about meditation, mindfulness, it is actually very easy to practice them. For example, when we think about practicing compassion, the compassion which is we going to practice, the compassion is already we have. So we have compassion. So we need to recognize the compassion, then we apply in our daily life. Second, when we wish to practice great compassion, then the compassion already we have. So we need to extend whom we practice compassion, whom we generate compassion. Most time, when we have a compassion, the compassion always focus only, few kind of people, not many people, not all sentient beings. Since we practice the Mahayana Buddhist teaching, then we just extend the object of compassion. So it's very easy to practice because we already have the compassion. So why it is so important to generate compassion and great compassion? Because the great compassion is the foundation. It is the root of the bodhicitta. Therefore, when Vajrapani asked a question to Buddha Shakyamuni, how I can achieve Buddhahood? Then Buddha replied, for the answer, once phenomena in your hands, everything will be in your hand. Then ask, what is this? The Buddha said, the great compassion. So, if we able to practice great compassion every day, then the bodhicitta is next to it. we are not able to practice bodhicitta, then still we wish to practice bodhicitta, we cannot because we don't have the foundation. Therefore, at the beginning of our class, please everybody first generate compassion towards your dear and near one, whom very close to you. Please cultivate compassion. Then second, we extend, the compassion furthermore, which is we cultivate compassion towards all sentient beings. So when we sincerely generate love and compassion towards all sentient beings, then we have a very close feeling with all sentient beings as our dear parents, dear mother, dear father, dear brother, and dear sister. Right? The great compassion, bring us very close to all sentient beings without exception. Also, through great compassion, all sentient beings bring very close to us. Then, when sentient beings, all sentient beings, become very our dear one, as a dear one, then between we and sentient beings, then there's no anger, there's no hatred, there's no jealousy, there's no sense of ego. Therefore, practicing great compassion is very, very important to bring, close feeling towards all sentient beings. For example, when you really like, really purely like someone, some of your relative, when the relative, becomes famous, you really feel very happy about it. You don't have a jealousy. Same, when we have a very close feeling, when we have a very pure love towards all sentient beings, any of the sentient beings, any of the human beings, became famous, become very popular, then we also feel very happy because the jealousy has gone between we and them. Second important, when we have a pure compassion, all sentient being, then we wish all sentient being, be happy. We always wish all sentient beings free from sufferings because you really care them. So we must recognize the great compassion is very important practice as a Mahayana Buddhist follower. Therefore, at the beginning, is always we need to generate great compassion, then bodhicitta. Because now you can see the order. When you have a pure love, compassion towards all sentient beings become very close to you. All sentient beings, for you, where you are dear mother, dear father. Then when we see in them in problems, in suffering, automatically we have a strong kind of motivation, free them from sufferings, free them from problems, and provides the happiness and cause of happiness. Then, in this moment, so we have a great motivation. We have a very strong intention to help all sentient beings. But this moment, we don't have the ability, we don't have the power, them free from, sufferings, to provide all the happiness and cause of happiness. Then we think, we need to think home, how I can really benefit all sentient beings. Then we need to realize, if I am become a Buddha, then I can benefit all sentient beings like a Buddha Shakyamuni. So Buddha Shakyamuni, the Siddhartha Gautama, he is just one, like a bhikshu, one full ordained being. Since he became Buddha, then immediately he can give a lot of benefit all sentient beings. Even though until today, millions of sentient beings, have been receiving benefit from Buddha Shakyamuni, benefit from his teachings. Therefore, at the beginning, everybody should think, I wish to be Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So this is the beginning, this is the motivation. We always need beginning of our Dharma class, beginning of our recitation, beginning of our doing prostration, beginning of our making offerings. So this is the key point to change everything as a Mahayana practice. The second, after we fully generated compassion, then we need the the concentration, the meditative mind to fully realize selflessness and emptiness. Fully realize. I say fully. Then here the question, how I can really achieve, the meditation, the meditative stabilization, how I can achieve. Because in my mind, I have so many thoughts. I cannot fully focus on one object because so many thoughts, arising at the same time. I cannot focus, right? So this is a common problem who are very beginner for meditation, who try to do, meditation. First problems, we cannot focus. Why we cannot focus? So we have so many thoughts, so many mind arise at the same time. First, we think about impermanence. Second, we have another thoughts. The second thoughts disturb the mind, which is already focused on impermanence. Then how we can, control all the different thoughts which arise at the same time. Then here, as a, homework, you need to think what are the, not inconducive condition for meditative civilization. Food or daily activities, or generally we try to have less thoughts. So what are the conducive condition for meditation? For example, so before we cultivate rice in the field, first we need to clean the field, make sure there's not stones, make sure there's no like a bed grass. We need to remove them. Then we need to plant the seeds. Same, before we do meditation, generally we need to do some kind of preparation, eating the right amount of food. Every moment we try to have a awareness, try to have a mindfulness. That means when you eat the right amount, right drink, then you can have a quite flexible kind of body. If we eat too much, then we feel our body is very heavy, we feel is very sleepy. Then we try to meditate, we cannot. Second, generally, if you have a lot of thoughts, if you are thinking too much for unnecessary things, when you do meditation, all the thoughts will come in your mind. You cannot focus. All the thoughts always disturb you to focus on one object, right? Therefore, as a like a basic idea about how we can achieve serenity, then I hope all of you remember very clearly about the 9 mental states, the 9 steps. Right? So within the 9, the first 2 mental states, in order to go through, in order to practice the first and second mental state, we need to put a lot of effort. We really need to push ourselves to how to focus continuously. Don't worry about the excitement, laxity. Don't worry. Just need to learn how to focus continuously. Therefore, some of you are very beginner, for meditation. That means you need to choose a very kind of suitable object for your meditation. When I say object, you should not think the external object. The meditation, the meditative mind always need to focus the inner phenomena, the mental image, not the external object. So when we meditate on Buddha, first we need to see the Buddha statue. So we need to see the photo of the Buddha. After we seeing them, after that we can have the image of the Buddha in our mind. So the meditative mind need to focus the mental image within ourselves, not the external, the Buddha statue which is externally there. Therefore, first you need to learn how to focus, how to continuously focus. And that's this moment, you focus for a few minutes and rest for a while. Again, focus the object and rest a while. Focus again, rest for a while. Right? Then you feel, somehow my mind can focus the object of meditation. Then second, we need to learn how to focus continuously. So when we learn ourselves how to focus continuously to the chosen object. Chosen object means you need to choose one particular object. The particular object you always use when you learn how to achieve meditation. Chosen object. Then second, when we try to learn how to focus continuously, that moment you need very clear awareness. I'm not saying here, vigilance, awareness. Is my mind is focusing or not focusing on the object? If you have a clear awareness, yes, my mind can focus on the chosen object continuously, first 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Then focus continuously, for a while, and also you rest. Rest and relax. Then again, you meditate on the chosen object, meditate continuously, maybe a few seconds more, longer than the previous one. And again, you must, take a rest for a while. You be physically, mentally, be relaxed. If you don't, take a rest, then whether you're not going to achieve meditation, all your meditation, going to go into totally wrong directions. Therefore, first two step is step for learning how my mind can focus. I say my mind to focus on the chosen object. Clear? First two. Then next, the 5 mental states. It kind of mixture. Able to focus, cannot focus. Able to focus, cannot focus. But you can focus more, cannot focus, become more less. So therefore you can see, interrupted stretch. Then after 5, then we remember the 10 or pacifying. The next 2 steps, then you really need to be very careful. You really need to know, you need to recognize the true obstacle, which is laxity and excitement. Right? Because so after 5 steps, so you can have a quite good the meditative mind. The mind can be focused on the chosen object for maybe more than half hour, maybe 1 hour. But during that time, make sure your mind is not under control of laxity and excitement. Then you need very strong, powerful vigilance. So here, mindfulness in one hand, vigilance in other hand. The mind is in the center. The mind, mindful or focus on the object of meditation. The mind focus on the object of meditation. Then the mindfulness always need to remember the object of meditation. Therefore, mindfulness, become very important condition to remember the object of meditation. In the other hand, yes, you remember that the mind can focus on the object of meditation because of the mindfulness, but the vigilance need to aware. The mind is not, become laxity, not influenced by laxity. The meditative mind not influenced by excitement. Therefore, the mind is in the center, which is mindful, which is focused on the chosen object. In the other hand, the mindfulness. Okay, therefore, mind is the general mind to focus on the chosen object. Mindfulness is the part of the mind to remember the object meditation. The vigilance is the part of the mind to need to aware the laxity and excitement, when they already come, already occur, need to aware. Before them occur, going to occur, also the vigilance need to remember. Then, in order to go through the 9 mental states, so you need to apply the 6 powers. 6 powers. Okay, so then another, I think, important what we need to learn. So while we are meditating as a beginner, our mind look like this. The general mind become kind of half, look like focusing on the chosen object. Half is wandering somewhere, wandering something else. It's a very common problem. Still, as a beginner, half of your minds effort to focus is okay. The half of mind is let it wander else something where it's okay. Slowly you can control. So therefore, as a beginner of the meditation, if you're not able to focus, if you don't have a good, mindfulness, please don't worry. If you put, the gentle effort, very gentle effort, don't force too much, very gentle effort, then you can have a good mindfulness. If you have a good mindfulness, then definitely very easy to have a vigilance. Once you have a good mindfulness and vigilance, then your meditative mind can go continuously without disturbed by laxity and excitement and other thoughts. Because laxity arises, the vigilance will know. Excitement come, the vigilance must know that they are arising. So this is beginning of our class, kind of revision. So today we study a few points. Page number 79. 79. That's 79. So when we seriously, I say seriously, all of you have to be, bit serious about your practice. I think some of you just attend the Dharma class only Saturday and Sunday. The weekday, I think you are totally kind of, neglect, totally become very careless about your practice and meditation, particularly about your meditation. If you, kind of just attend the Dharma class, Lamrim class in TBC for maybe twice a week, or you attend other class maybe a few times a week, if you don't practice them, because this day we have been study about meditative stabilization. We really precisely study how we can really go through the meditation. If you don't practice, if you don't try to experience yourself, then you cannot have a much transformation. Definitely you cannot have. If you don't have any transformation, through your study, through your Dharma knowledge, then at the end of this life, I say end of this life. I'm not going to say end of life. End of this life. When you are in a very critical condition, in hospital, in home, somewhere, so your condition is very critical. The doctors, the nurse, your relatives, everybody, become hopeless. They know, so I am not going to survive anymore. You are not going to survive anymore. That moment is the most crucial, important moment to transform this life to next life in the better life. If you don't have the proper Dharma experience in that moment, you really cannot transform yourself into higher realms. Then, we will born into lower realms. Once we in the lower realms, then it's so difficult to, to free from dead states. Then if we go more continuously, go in again, millions of lifetimes, we go through the lower realms. Because, once we become kind of animal, we don't have any experience, we don't have any kind of knowledge how to be better being, how to transform ourselves. Therefore, I really, urging you, requesting you, you must attend the Dharma class. It's very good. I really appreciate all of you, attend many classes, which is very good. At the same time, please don't forget to practice what you study, what you learn. Particularly, so when you have difficulties. Therefore, all the about the meditation, like sati, excitement, the 9 mental states, 6 powers, the 5 kind of obstacles of meditative civilizations, or the 8 antidotes, everything you really have to go through your own experience. Therefore, please, everybody, more serious about your study, very serious about your practice, particularly about the meditation. Page number 79. So we will learn here, I think, 3 things. The number 1, a presentation of dividing line between accomplishing and not accomplishing meditative serenity. So very, like dividing the line. Who achieve, meditative serenity? Who haven't achieved meditative serenity? For example, today we have 51 people in the class. So let's say 50 people. So I'm like like you can say teachers. So we have 50 Dharma brother and sister. We divide into 25. 25. But all 50 already reached to the 9th, at the 9th, the balanced mind, the 9th, mental state. Then after 9, someone will achieve meditative serenity. Someone will remain that state for almost all life. So how we can differentiate among the 50, 25 achieve meditative serenity. 25 only achieved the 9th mental state, not meditative serenity. How we can differentiate? How I can differentiate? Oh, you 25 of you achieve meditative serenity. 25 of you haven't achieved meditative serenity. Both of you already achieved the 9 mental state, but some of not achieved meditation. How I can differentiate? Therefore, here a presentation of dividing the line between accomplishing and not accomplishing meditative serenity. So we learned this one today, number 1. Number 2, a general presentation of the way to persist along the path on the basis of meditative serenity. So today we learn this, number 3, the specific presentation of the way to process along the mundane paths. So, number 1, a presentation of dividing the line between accomplishing and not accomplishing the meditative serenity, right? The outline. So, according to Tibetan in our tradition, the outline is, we consider, is a very important points. For example, everybody, none of us can memorize, the Lamrim Chenmo, the Great Treatise, State of the Path to Enlightenment. We cannot memorize this textbook. English, we have 3 volumes. Tibet, we have 1, but none of us can memorize. all the Lamrim. If you remember the outline, doesn't that mean look like you can understand, you can remember, all the complete Lamrim? So when you think about the outline, you will remember, all the importance meaning. So here, look at, presentation of the dividing the line between accomplishing and not accomplishing meditative serenity. If you have a, the knowledge about this outline, for you very easy to remember, all the meaning, which is going to explain here. This has two sections: a presentation of the actual meaning and the mark associated with the attention and the elimination of the crumbs. This is a two sections. Yeah, the number one, a presentation of the actual meaning. Actual meaning means actually Lama Tsong-kha-pa going to explain the differences between accomplishing and not accomplishing of the meditative serenity. A presentation of the actual meaning, Klum. Once you have properly understood the means of the cultivating concentration as explained previously, and then sustain them in the meditation. Right? So here what you need to remember, the 9 mental states. So not just remember, you have to go through your own experience. Means, for example, first, you focus. Second, continuously focus. Third, you cannot continuously focus because in between you got some kind of obstacle, or you forgot the object of meditation, or your mind become very excited, or your mind become very lax. You need to know the obstacle. Once you know, yes, I cannot meditate because those obstacles interrupt in between, then you need to put effort, bring your mind back to the meditation, right? Like this. So for the first, I think, let's say only 2 weeks, I'll give you 2 weeks. For the 2 weeks, the 14 days, you just go through the, the 9 mental steps. Okay, first, focus, rest, and focus, rest. Then focus continuously. You can see how long you can focus. You have to be honest. How long? Oh, I can focus only, 2 minutes. Then my mind become little bit darkness. Or I cannot remember the object of meditation. In between, I have other thoughts come, it disturb. Then, you despite what happened, and again, bring your mind, bring back and focus, right? So you have to go through the 9 mental steps. And also, you need to recognize the laxity and excitement. How we can recognize? For example, here, we all together, first, okay, focus on, let's say, impermanence. Meditate on impermanence. Yes, we meditate on impermanence. So before we meditate impermanence, you need to remember few simple logics to prove of impermanence. You need to few simple logics. There one simple logic: all the conditioned phenomena conditioned phenomena, subject to change. So this is kind of, statements, subject to change. Why? Because this arises from causes and condition. The thing which is arise, produced from causes and conditions, subject to change. Then now you can know, oh, this means impermanence. Then your mind just focus, hold impermanence, hold. Right? Very clearly, hold impermanence. Then certainly the impermanence which is being meditated on is disappear. There's a true condition will be there. One, excitement, mean you got some other thoughts disturb you to concentrate on impermanence, excitement. Now you know, yes, I could not focus continuously because the thoughts disturb me. What kind of thoughts disturb you? Disturb you? Oh, suddenly I remember, replying text to someone. Oh, suddenly I remember to drink tea, water, coffee. Suddenly I remember food. It disturbs. It's just a thoughts, neither positive nor negative. Disturbed by thoughts. Then disturbed by the afflictions, afflictive emotions, anger, attachment, desire. So you recognize, yes, my mind, my meditative mind disturbed by these thoughts. Right? Second, while you are meditating impermanence, you are meditating on impermanence continuously. Suddenly, something happened. You cannot focus. Then you need to know why I could not focus. Because of the different thoughts disturb me or something else. Here, we need to recognize not disturbed by the different thoughts. My mind become too relaxed, too lax. Therefore, the mind, lose the object of meditation. So please go through experience. For the next 14 days, you can reduce all your practices. Reduce means you do more faster, then much, focus on the meditation practice for the 14 days. If you seriously, try to go through on your own experiment for the 14 day, definitely you will learn so many good things about meditation. You can learn better than attending the class, because we already have the Lamrim books. So go through experience. Therefore, here, once you have properly understood the means of the cultivating concentration, the means refer to the 9 mental states. Those are the means. Those are the condition. These are the previous methods to achieve meditative serenity. Means of the cultivating concentration as explained previously, and then sustained them in the meditation. The nine mental states arise in the sequence, right? So first 14 days go as an experiment. Then after 14 days, you really try to reach the first mental state. First, put effort to achieve the first mental state. Should not hurry to move the second. Build solid kind of the first mental state. Second, Then once you achieve the first mental state, then move to second stage, third, fourth, as a sequence. Please should not be in hurry, to achieve meditative serenity. If you are very in hurry, definitely you cannot achieve meditative serenity. Therefore, here the 9 mental state eras in sequence, not just sequence, free of subtle laxity and excitement. It's a subtle. So many, teachers, they always say, you focus on your breath, continuously your breath, watch your mind. They have been saying like this, which is very good. Many masters, they never explained about the subtle laxity, subtle excitement, how to overcome, right? Therefore, subtle laxity and excitement. So this is a kind of very important conclusion. So in order to achieve the meditative serenity, we need important methods, which is the 9 mental states. These 9 mental states are always be sequences, right? Sequence, and free of subtle laxity and excitement. Given that you have been achieved a concentration that become focus spontaneously without restoring to the effort of continued cultivation of mindfulness and vigilance, have you achieved meditative serenity or not? Right? That means you seriously reach to the 9th mental state as a sequence. So when you reach to the 9th, you don't need any effort to meditate, to focus, or to meditate on the object meditation. You can meditate, you can focus continuously few hours. And the meditative mind also completely free from laxity and excitement. That means, so that moment, when we reach this kind of state, so it is here saying, have you achieved meditative serenity or not? Right? Please, you remember what here asking question. The practitioner, really reached to the 9th mental state according to the sequence. When they reach to the 9th, the meditator, the practitioner can meditate on the chosen object without put any effort, effortlessly, continuously 1 or 2 hours. Also, the meditative mind is totally free from laxity, excitement. So, that moment, the practitioner have achieved meditative serenity or not. I think many of you think, oh yes, definitely the person achieved meditative serenity. Actually, no. So Lama Tsong-kha-pa said, no. Reply, right? Reply, I shall explain. So this kind of detail is very important. It's very important. Sometime, we go through very detailed study, which is not that important. Still, we go through very detailed study. For example, many of you study about the 4 tenets. 4 tenets, among the 4, how many branches within that? So what are the differences, non-Buddhist and Buddhist? Within the Buddhist, we go through a lot of, very detailed, but many of the detailed study, not much relevant, not much necessary in our practice. But we study very precisely, go through very precisely, but not much relevant for our daily practice. But about this kind of detailed explanation about meditation is very detailed explanation. Also, it is very relevant, very necessary as a meditator, as a practitioner. Therefore, Lama Tsong-kha-pa really go explain very precisely. I shall explain. In the achievement of this concentration, there are those who do and those who do not achieve plenty. This is the answer. Does mean in the achievement of this concentration, mean the practitioner who already achieved the 9th mental state, there's a two. One, who do achieve plenty. Other, who do not achieve plenty. Right? There's a two plenty, physical plenty, mental plenty. So the practitioner who already achieved the non-mental state, after it, the practitioner achieved plenty, then the practitioner achieved meditative serenity. The practitioner who already achieved the 9 mental state, after it, haven't achieved the mental the plenty, then the meditator, practitioner haven't achieved the meditative serenity. Right? That means once you achieve plenty, top of the 9 mental state, then you already achieve meditative serenity. If you haven't achieved the plenty after the 9 mental state, you haven't achieved the meditative serenity. Right? It's clear? So if you're not so clear, make sure you keep a note. You keep a note. Note. So if plenty is not achieved continuously, so if plenty is not achieved, this would be an approximation of meditative serenity, but would not be the genuine serenity. Thus, it is called attention that approximate meditative serenity. This is clearly stated in the sutra. Is actually clearly mentioned by Buddha. That means you haven't achieved the plenty, the meditative or the concentration mind, the meditative mind, the concentration mind, we can call, proximity of with the meditative serenity. This means it's very similar. It's very close to the meditative serenity. Or also, it's, you can name as a meditative serenity. Actually, no, not the real meditative serenity. So this is clearly stated in the sutra, unraveling the intended meaning. Okay, here, so we read all together, read the quotation from the sutra. Bhagavan, when bodhisattvas direct their attention inward, and focus it upon their mind. What is this attention called for? As long as physical plenty and mental plenty are not achieved. I think who asked question? Question by Mitriya. Mithya, Mithya, this is not meditative serenity. You should say that it is associated with the aspiration of the approximate meditative serenity. Right? That means Mithya asked question to Buddha, the Buddha answer. When Bodhisattvas direct their attention inward and focus the attention upon their mind, what is this attention call for? For as long as physical plancy and mental plancy are not achieved, Mithya, this is not meditative serenity. You should say that it is associated with the aspiration that approximates meditative serenity. This by Buddha. Then from the Mithya ornament of the Mahayana Sutra, as a consequences of familiarity, there's a non-application. Then upon achieving great plancy of the body and mind, you are said to have attention. So plancy, physical plancy and mental plancy. So without reading, rest of the pages, I explained very simple way. I think some of you have maybe experience. I don't know any of you, very closely when you meditate, when you do meditation. For example, particularly in the morning, when you do meditation, at the beginning, when you just sit in as a like a meditation posture, when you meditate on something, first thing you will realize your breath is very short and long. Your chest is really going in and out. You can feel all the vibration, vibration of your body, the lungs and the heart. And the breath is short, and something is too long, something short, something continuous short, something continuously long. These are very common experience everybody can feel at the beginning. Then you still continuously you focus on your meditation. Then slowly the whole body, the vibration going to be quite calm. Then your breath become very gentle. Very gentle. Also, you can test your breath is, in and out is same, or in is more short, or is long, more long. That means your breath is still not becomes balanced, right? So after, let's say 10 minutes, then you can feel, oh, my body is very relaxed. My breath become very soft, is very kind of relaxed. Then continuously meditate on the object of meditation, continuously. Then, of course, also you will realize sometimes I can focus, sometimes I cannot. It's nothing to do with your physical things, breath. You can, that's more about your minds. Yes, I can focus, I cannot focus. Then you need to learn how to bring back your attention and set with the object meditation. Then after continuously meditating on the same object, as a same object, which is you start from the beginning, same object, continuously meditate on it, then somehow you feel, wow, it's very big. It's a really, kind of relaxed. you feel physically is very relaxed. How come you have this kind of experience? Because when our mind becomes very balanced, then slowly the energy in our body, in the wind energy, moves very balancedly, moves, runs balancedly. Therefore, in order to achieve the physical fluency, first we need to achieve the mental fluency. Mental fluency means the mind becomes very serviceable. You can focus same object continuously. You don't have any kind of disturb in between. And your mind becomes very relaxed. Due to this condition, due to this cause, then physically you got physical fluency. Means you can meditate on the same object for 1 or 2 hours. You never feel your body is very tired. Your body is so thirsty. Also, you cannot feel I cannot focus. That means you achieve the mental fluency and physical fluency. Among these two, first you need to achieve mental fluency, then physical fluency. Since the meditative mind become meditative serenity, right? This is the kind of the very thin line differentiating between achieving or not achieving meditative serenity. Clear? Okay. So before I move the second topic, so we can have some discussion. We can have some question. What I talk. If I need to clarify, please feel free to ask a question. Yeah.
Dharma brothers and sisters, if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself or you can type in the chat room.
Gisela.
Yes.
This is Charlie Court here.
Okay.
When you focus on the object, then after that for a while, then you say you rest your mind and then you focus again.
Yeah.
So during the rest period, is it better that you just think about something else? Or when you rest means you still rest with the focus of the object, or you just rest without the focus object? If you rest without the focus object, then where do you put your mind?
Thank you so much for asking this question. Also, it's a very good question. When I say rest, there's a two different way of resting. Two different ways of resting. Resting number one, you are meditating on impermanence, or you are meditating on compassion. So when I say rest, mean you are not focusing on impermanence. Still, you can read few sentences about impermanence. Also, you can think about impermanence. Then you fully focus. So therefore, I think do you remember what to do during the meditation session? What to do in between? That means you meditating in the morning, also meditating in afternoon. In between, you need to eat lunch. You need to take a shower. You need to do something. What should I do that moment? Therefore, all the master advice. In between, you can do whatever you want. Make sure you always remember what did you meditate in the morning. You read books according to your meditation. Is one meaning of rest. The second is when you rest, you should not think anything else. You just don't focus, just relax. You should not think something else. You just relax means you should not focus, just rest. Or you just focus on your breath. Then again focus the chosen object. While you are resting, you are thinking something else too much. Second, when you meditate again, it become very great obstacles. There's a two meaning. One, you read in a same kind of short lines, open a book, read about according to what you did, what you are meditating. Second, you should not focus, just relax. Should not think something else or reflect about what you meditate on.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Is there any question? Is something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Geshe, can you repeat how you define that you have reached mental and physical pliancy?
Also, there's a few pages about the explanation about physical and mental pliancy. The mental pliancy is kind of the mental quality. Mental quality. The physical pliancy is kind of the physical quality, also part of the physical feeling. For example, have you seen? I think you can train well like dog, right? You can train dog as like a player. At the beginning, we will have a lot of difficulties to train the animals. Once the animal train very well, the animal can play take the play well without having any mistake. The physical pliancy means this moment we have a lot of mental, we have a lot of problem. We cannot remember things, we can remember not so clearly, or we can remember clearly, not long, not quite long time. But yes, first we cannot remember problem. Second, we can remember we have problem because we cannot remember clearly. Third, number three, we can remember very clearly, but we cannot remember clearly continuously. Number four, we can remember very clearly, remember continuously quite for a while. In between, it disturbed by excitement, laxity, and other thoughts. So your mind is not, serviceable for meditation. That means you don't have the mental pliancy. Mental pliancy. Somehow through the 9 mental states, finally your mind become very serviceable. When your mind become very trained, about meditation. You can meditate on same object without having any disturbance for few hours, like let's say few hours, but somehow you physically feel tired, feel thirsty, feel hungry, you feel some headache, some back ache, stomach ache, you feel physically you are become a bit tired. That means your mind is fully became serviceable. Your body is not ready. If suddenly you feel sleepy, you feel tired, your body is tired, you have a body ache here and there, that means you haven't achieved the physical pliancy. After meditating on the chosen object for few months or few years, finally, yes, you can meditate on the same object for few hours. Never have any headaches, stomach ache, thirsty, tired, not any tiredness there. For example, one of the Gyuba master, I think Geshe Lobsang, Because in Kagyu, there's three masters are very important. Lama Marpa, as a founder of the Kagyupa, the Milarepa is the most important disciple of Lama Marpa. Then Gampopa is one of the important disciple of Lama Marpa. So after Gampopa trained for many years, he meditated on the same object for 14 days. It's not the story, 14 days. He put the butter lamp can burn for 14 days on the head. Then he continuously meditate on the same object for 14 days without moving the body at all. When the body moves, the butter lamp going to fall over. Therefore, our body can become like that. Yes, this means the mental plancy, physical plancy. What does mean the mental plancy? What does mean physical plancy? Also, when you read, other books written by, I'm not sure about Chinese master, other Tibetan master, some Tibetan master says, in order to achieve meditative serenity, we no need to achieve physical and mental plancy. That means those master, when we reach to the 9th mental state, they consider you achieve meditative serenity. This means the proximate meditative serenity considered as a meditative serenity. So if you read very precisely, all sentence by sentence, because I have been reading book about the Mahamudra composed by Kagyupa masters. So I can see, when we read literally, you can see there's a contradiction. But when you read very precisely, sentence by sentence, then you can see, and they have a same view about how achieve meditative serenity. Yes, is there any question?
Yeah, next question coming from UN. Is meditation just before sleep is good, or would that affect the mind becomes active that might disturb the sleep?
Why did you ask this question? So he wrote, right? He texts you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Actually, before we, fall asleep, it's very important, do meditation. So when we are fully awake, we can aware, if you have a good awareness, if you have a good mindfulness, if you have a good vigilance, when we are fully awake, we can notice what's going in our minds. Right? Oh, I'm typing, actually physical, I'm typing, I'm thinking something else. We can notice. Oh, I'm chanting verbally, you are chanting, but your mind is wondering something else. We can notice very easily while we are fully awake. So between fully awake and sleeping, if you have a like meditation mind able to meditate, this is the very important practice. Your like sleeping duration can transform into the positive kind of activities. Because while we are sleeping, we are fully asleep or half sleeping, our mind still has a function. It can function as a positive, function as a negative. But if we have a meditation before we fully sleep, its effect, it gives a good influence during our sleeping. Then the sleeping duration can be positive sleeping. Therefore, it is good to have a, like a meditation before you fully sleep. Or you can do meditation as a, lay down on your bed, put your head on the pillow, and you just do, meditation gently, and just sleep within the meditation. This means a connect, the sleeping and unsleeping mind, connect the meditation mind, connect the two minds. Then the sleeping session, the duration is become positives. And also is help when you wake up early morning, you will remember, certainly you will remember the meditation is a good. Yeah.
Next question coming from Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
What is the time gap between one-pointed attention to balance placement, as both seems to be about the same?
Can you unmute her or him? Why did you ask this question?
Yes, Geshe-la.
Have you read Lamrim sentence by sentence?
Because from the one-pointed attention, basically, when we do meditation, we feel that the meditation is effortless, as compared to the balance placements, where it seems to be like also seems like effortless, but it's just that you reach the point of equanimity.
I think once you need to read, again the Lamrim about the 9 mental states. Then in somewhere you can see there's a few lines explain the differences between the one pointed mental state and the balance. Both mental state not need any effort. Continuously meditate on the chosen object. No need any effort. They can go, automatically, continuously go. But the balance, when they reach to the balanced mental states, the mind is totally free from subtle laxity and excitement. The nun also free, but during the eighth, the pointed mental state, during that time, there's a dangers. There's a kind of chance to arise laxity and excitement. When they reach to the balanced states, there's no any dangers. There's no any chance to arise the excitement, laxity. So that means one has a dangers, one doesn't have any dangers. Both of them, don't need any effort to continuously meditate on the chosen object. So for you read, the Lamrim particular around this area for continuously, then you will know the differences between the pointed mental state and the balanced mental states. One has a dangers to arise laxity and excitement, one doesn't have. This is the difference.
So Geshe-la, can I also ask is that means to say if as long as there is laxity and excitement occurred, ones have not reached the number 9 mental states. Am I right to say that?
It's not so clear. Can you repeat one more, please?
It means that as long as laxity and excitement occurred, ones will never have reached the balance principle.
Yeah.
Is this correct?
About the differences between these two. Okay, is there any question?
Okay, thank you, Geshe.
Yes, Geshe.
Huh? Mail.
There's a question from Lian Chu.
Okay, Manchu.
Geshe, is the ninth mental state the same as samadhi?
Okay, good question also. Thank you all of you to asking, all this question. The samadhi is a very general term. Samadhi, meditation, concentration. These are the general name. The nine mental, each of the nine mental states we can name, samadhi states. That concentration state, samadhi state. Samadhi means like a meditation stage. Yes, a mini stage. So samadhi and meditative serenity is not exactly same. So simply we can say here, I am human being. Human beings are not me. Same way, the meditative serenity is samadhi. All samadhi not necessary to be meditative serenity. Right? Therefore, samadhi and meditative serenity is not exactly same. Yes. Because samadhi is the Sanskrit term, Indian language. Samadhi means meditation. Meditation doesn't mean all meditation. All meditation mind can be the meditative serenity. Because serenity of karma body is a serenity, meditative serenity, karma body is a same. Samadhi and meditative serenity is the meaning is different. Yes.
Up to level 8 is still shamatha, right?
Yes. Shamatha and what do you call second one, shamatha and vipassana. Yes. Shamatha is actually karma body. Vipassana is species the shamatha, meditative serenity, karma body are synonymous. Shamatha is not the general, term. We can use all kinds of, the concentrated mind. Yes, shamatha, meditative serenity, and karma bodies are synonymous. And spiritual insight and vipassana, these two are synonymous.
So samadhi is more than that.
The samadhi is a very general, yes. Meditative serenity is more than that, more higher than that.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any question?
Yeah, it's following up questions from UN. When on Geshe-la's advice earlier on meditate before sleep.
Mm-hmm.
When you say as we lay down and meditate and eventually get into sleep mode, during that transition, then laxity might happen in between. Is that correct?
Okay, so precisely not prevention. Okay, that means not 100% true. It depends on sleeper, it depends on the practitioner. Generally, yeah, average people definitely, while you are meditating, your mind is quite aware. Then just before you fall asleep, yes, you can have a laxity, right? Here, what we need to remember, laxity has two kinds. One is positive, one is neutral. Still is okay in between, full sleep and meditation. In between, in the laxity occur, is still okay because still you're able to connect, these two minds. It cannot be, kind of negative, whether positive, either positive or like a neutral. Generally, yes, average people can have laxity because when we're sleeping, slowly our whole body, mind become, relax and lax. For example, so when I'm reading books, when I fall asleep, I drop book because this means laxity aware. This is true, not 100% for everybody. Yes. Is any question? More question?
We have answered all the questions. Maybe the participants are still thinking about the question, Geshe.
Thank you so much asking all this question. Okay, next we study a little bit about the second topic. The second topic is a general presentation of the way to process a long path on the basis of the meditative serenity. So we study this one a little bit. Okay, page number 91. So the few pages is more about physical and mental cleansing. So the rest of I think the meaning will come later. Therefore, you can turn on page number 91. 91. A general presentation of way to process along the path on the basis of meditative serenity. Question. Should you simply sustain a non-discursive awareness characterized by clarity, non-discursive, etc., by achieving attention, interlinked, non-discursive concentration as explained previously? Well, this question is also very important. Please, everybody, read this question few times. Then you think what a question it is. Okay, this question is very, very, very important. Why it is very important? Many people who always tries to practice meditation, what they think, when I have a good meditation, when I achieve, like a shamatha, meditative serenity, I can have a peaceful mind. I will be a very peaceful person, just peaceful. This is I think, the main achievement to wish to achieve through the meditative serenity. If I ask you a question, why you need to practice meditation? Why you need to do meditation? Why? The answer will be, some of you may say, oh, then I won't have any disturbing minds because I can have just one thought for continuously few days. I won't have a disturbing thoughts. We fully control. I can be very happy. I can have a peaceful mind. I will be free from worry, stress. This is answer by someone maybe. Some of you think, oh, I want to achieve meditative serenity because I want to be Buddha. This is also good answer, but when they believe that way, then they have forgotten. Still, you need to practice, like special insight. Not only shamatha, you need to practice vipassana. Also, if you are able to achieve shamatha and vipassana, this two is sufficient to achieve liberation? No. Then we need to learn very particular special insight, very particular, like a particular vipassana, right? So therefore, this question is very important. It's just beginning of the Lamrim. Should you simply sustain a non-discursive awareness which is characterized by clarity, non-discursive, etc., by achieving attention, entirely non-discursive concentration, as explained before. That means you achieve meditative serenity is totally non-discursive, means you fully focus. Not only fully focus, is very clear, see the object very clearly. So that means it just sustain continuously or not? Then the answer is here. Reply. Producing such as concentration in your mind still is for the purpose of generating insight that overcome afflictions. You read the first two lines for a few times. Producing such as concentration in your mind still is for the purpose of generating insight that overcome afflictions. Read few times. Okay. So this is the point why we need to achieve meditative serenity, because we need to achieve the special insight. Special insight, because we need to overcome the afflictions. Let me reply. Producing such as concentration in your mind stream is for the purpose of generating insight. That the insight, right? The insight overcomes afflictions. Now you can see the order. First, we have to go through the first to the ninth mental states. After ninth, we need to achieve the plan C. Then the ninth mental state transform into meditative serenity. After that, we should not be just content, just achieving meditative serenity. Still, we need to achieve insight, which is karma body, not karma body, special insight. Why we need to generate insight? The generating insight is very important methods to overcome afflictions. That means our aim, our goal is destroying the afflictions. Therefore, we need to achieve special insight. Therefore, we need to achieve meditative serenity. Therefore, we need to achieve the 9 mental steps according to the sequence. Right? Now I think you are very clear from the first mental state all the way to overcoming the afflictions. Right? Therefore, here, reply, producing such as concentration in your mind stem is for the purpose of generating insight that overcomes afflictions. Hence, if you do not generate insight on the basis of the concentration, on the basis of meditative serenity, you will be unable to eliminate even the afflictions of the desire realms. No matter how much you grow accustomed to the concentration, in that case, what need is even the mention eliminating the all affliction. Therefore, cultivate insight. If you do not generate insight on the basis of meditative serenity, you will be unable to eliminate even the affliction of the desire realms. That means affliction of the desire realms, affliction of the form realms, affliction of the formless realms. So without achieving meditative serenity, we cannot eliminate the desire realm affliction. Definitely we cannot rest of the other two. Therefore, in that case, what need in the even for mention eliminating the all affliction, therefore cultivate insight. Right? Cultivate insight. So I hope you are very clear. You are very clear about the order from the first mental state till 9. We have to achieve these mental states in order, step by step, through the 6 powers. After 9, so we can achieve. When you reach to the 9, you are totally free from laxity, excitement, totally free. You have a very deep concentration. Then you will achieve plensis. First, mental plensi, second, physical plensi, then the 9 mental state transform into meditative serenity. If you just content, when you just happy, about achieving this mental state, then you cannot overcome afflictions. Therefore, in between, we need insight. Insight can be achieved if we achieve meditative serenity. Meditative serenity can be achieved when we achieve the 9 mental state. The 9 mental state can be achieved when we apply the 6 powers. The 9 mental state can be achieved when we eliminate the 6 obstacle. The 6 obstacle can be eliminated if we apply the 8 antidotes. Okay, so today we can stop here our class. So I really, depth of my heart, I'm really requesting all of you. I really appreciate all of you attending, different Dharma class from different teachers, which is very good. I really rejoice about it. I'm really requesting you, whatever you learn from different teachers, whatever you learn from different books, please start to have an experience, particularly about the meditation. For the next 14 days, please you go through the 9 mental statement as an experiment. Then actually, you really need to go through step by step. First, achieve first steps, first mental step. When the first mental state becomes solid, move second. Second become solid, move third. When you achieve the third, the first second already transform into third. there's, it's just becoming really, kind of progress in your meditation. So therefore, any Dharma knowledge you have, please apply about bodhicitta, about renunciation, about great compassion, about emptiness, about impermanence, whatever you learn. Otherwise, you have a very right understanding about impermanence. You don't have any mistake to explain the impermanence. You really understood the impermanence intellectually, but something happened in your life. One of your dearest one lost. If you have a lot of emotional problems, then intellectually you understand impermanence, but you are not really, adopt the knowledge of impermanence. Also, we talk about, like a impermanence, changing. When we have a strong desire on the object, desire about person, desire about something, due to this desire also, if you have a lot of emotional problems, then you don't understand impermanence. Also, we understood the meaning of love and compassion, but we are always failed to, cultivate love and compassion towards your family, particularly your, brother and sister, parents. Again, you understood meaning of the love and compassion, but you cannot apply the love and compassion. Therefore, you should not think, oh, I'm a very ordinary person, or I'm a lay person, or I'm a wife, I'm a husband, I have a children, I'm busy. You should not think this way. Yes, I know, all of you are very busy. Still, you definitely have enough time to apply, to practice the Dharma, not just learn, right? Therefore, I'm really, requesting all of you, urging all of you from depth of my heart, please practice as much as you can. So if you practice compassion for every day, I'm very happy about it. Also, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas very much, appreciate your practice, very admire about your practice. If you just study, many years study, never practice, nobody really, none of the, kind of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas rejoice. None of them really, admire about your knowledge. But I think maybe your teacher, it is, oh, you're very good, you learn so many things very fast. I really, happy about your knowledge. Your teacher just happy about your knowledge. But all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they don't care your knowledge. They very much care about your practice. In order to practice, of course, you need knowledge. If you have just only knowledge, the knowledge sometimes become poison. The knowledge really become poison. The Dharma knowledge will become poison if you don't practice. Increase your all the, kind of negative thoughts. Therefore, I'm really requesting all of you to practice. If you practice, good for you. If you don't practice, what I can do. So thank you so much for attending the Lamrim class. Some of you may see tomorrow morning, like a Sunday class. At the end, so we do the dedication, dedicate all the merits to benefits all sentient beings, not just, verbally saying benefits, just seriously think, my merit, the merit which is I accumulate today during Lamrim class, I'm going to dedicate to benefit all sentient beings. I dedicate the merit for world peace, all parts of the world. Also, it's very important to dedicate the merit for the world peace, because right now, most of us in Singapore, When you walk around Singapore, it looks very peaceful. Everything looks nice. If we think the whole world, in generally, if we reflect the whole world, these days is very scary. When you think about environment, when we think about the weather changing, when we think about the economy changing, when we think about how the sickness virus spread the world very fast, it's very really we are living in a very dangerous era. So we wish this kind of dedication, this kind of prayer can give big kind of contribution for the world peace. So thank you so much. Then enjoy your, today is Saturday, right? Enjoy your Saturday.